Good morning, everybody. I've got my throat lozenge in. I'm going to call the VA tomorrow and see if I can get in. Seems like everybody who's got this crud, whatever it is, they can't give you a cure for it. There's no cure for flu or any of these type of viruses. All they can do is help your immune system to fight it. So everybody goes in and gets this steroid pack, Z-pack or whatever. I don't know of anybody who's completely gotten over it, though. This is my third week of this. I'm not as bad as I was, and I'm not running a fever. If you're running a fever, you're contagious. But if you're not running a fever, typically you're not. But get that from a doctor, not from me. Kitty's here. Are you awake? Are you awake? Say hi. I'm going to put you back down again, and you're going to lie down, and I'm going to pet you for a little bit, and then I'm going to stop, and you're going to try to bite me. That's a good kitty. Yes, go to sleep. Yes, go to sleep. Good kitties. All right. So I had somebody ask me a couple of days ago, do you teach about the bad times coming? Well, I do occasionally, but I don't really focus on it a lot because we're not going to be here. But yes, it is a threat to those who refuse to accept Christ. You've got some bad times ahead of you. Now, good times if you accept Jesus, it's bad times if you don't. Real simple. It's about where you're going. You're either going to go to heaven or hell. And both of them are eternity. So I'd much rather go to heaven. Now, if you think that you're going to be able to misbehave in hell, hell's going to be hell for a reason. You're not going to be able to do what you want to do. So anyhow, 2 Timothy 3:1, but know this, that in the last days grievous times shall come. Grievous time shall come. Now, the last days was after Jesus till now. We're in the last days. We're in the end of the last days, so I call it the end times. The rapture is the next event in the calendar. We don't know when it is. I got a red tongue from these. What are they? And their flavor is elderberry. Elderberry wine. If you remember the Cary Grant movie with the two sisters, what was that? Arsenic and Old Lace. A funny movie. If you haven't seen it, you need to see it. It's black and white unless you can find. I don't know if they colorized it or not. I think they did. A funny movie. Early Cary Grant. So, da-da-da-da, charge, if you know the scene. So anyhow, we know that we're going to have bad times. They were making martyrs of the Christians in the first century, big time. If it wasn't for God, we wouldn't have gotten Christians through the first century. But that should be bona fide evidence that they believed what they believed because they were witnesses. If you didn't see something and somebody just told you that, you may not be willing to die for it. But they were willing to die for it. So it's going to get bad. And we're going to get it from the horse's mouth. Jesus talking in Matthew 24:6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye not be troubled. For these things must needs to come. These things must needs to come pass. King James. But the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and earthquakes in diverse places. But all these things are the beginning of travail. Birth pains, travail. But when did they start? Did they start right after he said this, when he went to heaven? Have they been going on for 2,000 years and are now getting towards the end? It's hard to say. But let's read on. Then shall they deliver you up unto tribulation, and shall kill you, and you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. Well, they've been doing that. They're doing it now in Muslim countries. Countries that just recently became Muslim are putting out absolute hatred for Jews and Christians. You can be arrested in the UK now for preaching Christianity because I got gnats in here still. I've sprayed in their back. I don't know where they're from. The Muslim religion is Satan's religion. Who do they persecute? Christians and Jews. Who hates Christians and Jews more than anybody? Satan. So Islam is the satanic copycat of Christianity. Verse 10, and then shall many stumble, and shall deliver up one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall arise, and shall lead many astray. And because iniquity shall be multiplied, the love of many shall wax cold. I've seen it like that in major cities in my lifetime, let alone where it's going now. But it is gradually getting worse. The United States was going down. You could hear the swirling water flushing down, and it's been stopped temporarily. Let's see if we can climb a little bit further out of this hole that we're in. But the United States is not mentioned in the Bible, so I've got to assume that we're not relevant. Verse 13, but he that endureth till the end, the same shall be saved. Okay. We have people that are living their lives and dying every day. They have been since Jesus left. The dead in Christ shall rise first. So that's the culmination of living a good Christian life. You will be with Jesus at some point. Rapture is the easy way out, so you don't have to die. Nobody wants to die because it's the unknown. We don't know. But everybody, Mother Teresa died, Billy Graham died. Everybody who's been a major leader, Chuck Smith that I grew up with died. Leaders of Christianity have died too. There's no escape. And everybody gets sick from time to time. Some more than others, but everybody gets sick. I'm having a hard time concentrating. I was telling my friend this morning that I couldn't come up with good topics because I can't. My receiver's cloudier more than normal. We look through a cloud anyway. And then my eyes are blurry and dizzy from this cold or whatever it is. I have contemplated not doing a video. That's how bad it's gotten. 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in the whole world as a testimony unto all the nations. Whole world, all. Notice the key words. And then shall the end come. So we're working on that. The technology's out there now that you can broadcast. In fact, I would say, rightly so, that the Word of God is being broadcast in the whole world. Whether or not there's anybody with the radio on, I don't know. But I would say that it's being broadcast. And then some of this is going in, as he's talking, is going into the tribulation. Loosely so. We have the 70th week of Daniel. That's been associated with the 7-year tribulation. Although the first half doesn't have a designator. It doesn't call the first half tribulation. Tribulation is a term that's used, but it doesn't call it. The second half is called the Great Tribulation. So it's assumed that the first half is the lesser tribulation. They're kind of stretching a little bit, but it's minor. When therefore, now, when you get halfway through, and you got to think about it, the first half of the 70th week of Daniel is not going to be really bad stuff. Yes, we have the seals and the trumpets, but those are spread out through the whole tribulation. What's happening when and where? It's going to appear that it's just normal things going wrong on the world. It's not going to appear to be God. The seals, the Antichrist is going to show up. The whole world's going to be excited. That's not doom and gloom. A third of the world's going to die. But it's going to appear that it's just one of these other diseases that got out into the world. We've been warning you about it. We warned you with COVID and you wouldn't listen, and now this one's even worse. So there will be something coming. We won't be here because the fact that the Antichrist is the first white horse rider means we're not going to be here because we're his restraining force. So when you see the desolation which was spoken of through Daniel, the prophet, standing in the holy place, let him that read understand, and let them that are in Judea flee into the mountains. When he defiles the temple, that's it. God says, enough's enough. And the second half is called the Great Tribulation. So the really big bad stuff is coming after that. But again, we won't be here. And at the end, he's going to separate the sheep from the goats, the good from the bad. Everybody's going to be judged. We have our graduation / report card period. But the world, and that's our Bema seat, but the world has the white throne judgment, where they're going to be looked at by God and Jesus, the same. And they're going to say, well, you had this opportunity to accept me, you had this opportunity, and you refused, you refused, you refused. What can I do? You've made your choice. You don't want me, God. So you have no choice but to go to hell because you selected that. And you were given multiple opportunities. There won't be anybody that can say, I was never given the opportunity. Now, granted, they've been lied to, but they're going to hear the truth, and they're going to reject it. And then when all that's over with, everything's going to be burned up anyway. I'm curious. I'm not worried, just curious what the new world's going to look like. But the one that created this one's going to create the next one. Are we going to remember this one? That's debatable. Are we going to remember each other? That's debatable up to a point. Because if we remember each other, but don't remember what went on, we're not going to remember the sinful nature. I don't know. We're going to see each other, definitely. Christians are going to see each other. But are we going to remember our relationships? I don't know. We're all going to be old. Eventually, we're all going to be eternally old. Well, I'm eternity in 1, and you're eternity in 2, and somebody else is eternity in 3. It's relevant. It's irrelevant. So he's telling Jerusalem to basically flee to the mountains after the abomination of desolation. Let him that's on the housetop not go down and take out the things that are in the house. You don't even have time to go get your coat. You just have to turn and run. You see these sci-fi movies where Godzilla is breaking through the walls of the building. Everybody just turns and runs. You don't see him, for the most part, run in and grab something. Now, Indiana Jones may turn back and grab his hat, but that's written in for him to do that. But most people wouldn't even bother. They're going to be turning and running. Let him that is in the field not return back to get his cloak. But woe to them that are with child and them that give suck in those days, someone with a baby, because you got to carry that baby and run. And pray that your flight not be in the winter. It's cold in Jerusalem. They get snow in northern Jerusalem. or neither on the Sabbath. There's a restriction for travel on the Sabbath. Do you think God would do that? I think he'd cut him some slack on that. For then shall there be great tribulation. This is the reference. Such has not been from the beginning of the world until now, nor shall there ever be again. And except those days had been shortened, no flesh would have been saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So there will be Christians on the earth during the tribulation. Newly born ones, because the established Christians are going to go in the rapture. The ones that were sitting on the fence, the once-a-week Christian, the ones that weren't fully committed but were trying to do good and try to get to heaven by works, they're going to realize their mistake. And there's going to be new Christians, and we got new evangelists during the tribulation. So there will be plenty. And if any man shall say unto you, lo, he's over there, the Christ, or he's here, don't believe it. For you will see Christ coming in the skies. There will be no doubt. He's not going to just appear on the earth and wander around and say, I'm Christ. For there shall rise false Christs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, so as to lead astray, if possible, even the elect. These are the things that you need to tell people that you don't think are going to make the rapture. People that are on the fence. Let them know there's still time. After we're gone, you're going to realize we're gone and realize your mistake. You don't have to make any commitments about it now because you said you don't want to. Fine. Remember what I told you, though. When we're gone, there's going to be false Christs on the earth. Don't believe them. And don't believe the false Antichrist, the big one. And don't get the mark of the beast. Those are things you want to warn them about. Behold, I have told you beforehand. If therefore shall say unto you, behold, he is in the wilderness, go not forth. Behold, he is in the inner chambers, believe it not. For as the lightning comes from the east and is seen into the west, so shall be the coming of the Son of Man, coming in the sky. There will probably be lightning and clouds and all kinds of stuff. So, he's coming. But afterwards, he's going to be dealing with all kinds of stuff on the earth, and it's not going to be pleasant. Warn people. They can still be saved, but if they don't make the rapture, you may find a little bit of hell on earth, because Satan's going to be released, and he's going to release his torment on everybody. Okay. Until we meet in the clouds and don't have to go through this, God bless.